the AC down because I will shut the door so you can't hear the background of the fan. Let me get some lighting going. I got my water there. That's about all I got. And we'll try to get this done in my closed quarters, my very close quarters. I kind of want to show you this, what I got done the other day. Kind of on the idea of cleanliness is next to godliness. I got a floor put in. It's should be able to see that. Let me turn this dang thing around if I can see it. Oh, there. I got a shower curtain that was given to me, and the man that was the motivation for this was Timothy. Tim of God. So got that up. So it's all cleaned up in here, really spick and span as far as I'm concerned. And some of the things are upside down. That one's got a label. That one's got a label sticking up. And this whole set here, there's 6 of them here. There's a different color from those 4, even though that one of them has one of them funny looking labels sticking up. So I don't know why they look like they look the same. They fit the same, but it seems like one side is just a little bit glossier, looking a little. The one side's a little bit flatter than the other one. Okay, I'm going to flip this back around. We're going to get to unboxing here and see what I got here. I'll tell you why I got it. Okay, so chainsaws. You gotta have a chainsaw to cut things up. I ain't kidding you. People see videos and they buy stuff, and they store their house up stuff. I did it for 40 years in Denver. Well, 1980, 90, 90, 29 years in Denver. 7 years. I left in 97, okay? Don't confuse me with the facts. I'm stepping on my headlight, doggone. Fiddly-dee, Millie. Okay, so, I stored things up. I bought things. When it came time to move, let me tell you, this is going to be a lot of people's problem. You can't take, when you only got an SUV or a minivan, you can't take 15 cases of toilet paper if that's what you got stored up. Or even 2 cases, you don't have room for it, so you're going to have to leave it behind. You leave it for the neighbors, you leave it for the mouse and rats to make nests out of, which is mostly what happens with it. Or you can just burn it. You can compress it, use it as a fire starter. You could do a lot of things with it. But one of them is you're not going to take it with you. And that's a fact, Jack. Okay. I'm just trying to be realistic. I spoke one time as a guest speaker for a video. I've talked about this before. I'm going to say it just real quickly. I was supposed to be the solution. My speaking in question and answer period was going to be the solution for the video we saw. The video we saw was Major Ed Dames on remote viewing, military remote viewing, and the fact that there was going to be a kill shot scenario, kill shot sequence, coronal mass ejections, solar flares, which you've seen a lot of books on. They flares everything on Earth and turns the Earth into a jungle of cannibals and cretins and lowlifes and zombies. Okay, so point being that I was the guest speaker for the solution, and I just asked them questions. I said, "How many of you live on a farm?" One person raised a hand. "How many of you have a well?" One person raised their hand. We're working on that. How many people have a hand out their way to work? We're working on that. And I said, "Well, you need to get out. You need to get out of the city. You need to get out of the city. You need to get out. Number 1 rule of survival is get out of the city. Number 2 rule of survival is get out of the city. Number 3 rule of survival is get out of the city. Okay, get the hell out of the city. And if you're in the city and you're buying a bunch of shit, stop doing it and start getting a really good vehicle, really good batteries, really good tires, really good boots, really good bicycles, really good carts to pull with your bicycles, really good top-grade equipment for traveling and transporting goods. Figure out how much weight you have. How much weight do you have in toilet paper? How much weight do you have in ammunition, guns and ammunition? How much weight do you have in gold and silver and weaponry? If it's more than your vehicle can handle, you're stupid. Okay, you need to get rid of some of it or sell it. One guy said, if you have 2 rifles and you don't have a walkie-talkie, a ham radio, or a Bearcat scanner, sell a rifle and get a scanner, sell a rifle and get a walkie-talkie, a ham radio. Communications is critical. Military teaches you three things: shoot, move, communicate. If you can't shoot, if you get something to shoot, but you can't move, if you can't move your stuff in your vehicle, everything you own in your vehicle, and you can't communicate, you're SOL. That means shit out of luck. You're up shit creek without a paddle. Okay, so enough of a tirade lecture. I'm telling you, when I left Denver, I left a bunch of stuff behind the first trip. I didn't think I'd ever come back. I remember just hanging on a guy that helped me move, and he was a border clan from Scottish to England. Campbell, no. Elias Kerr Armstrong. George Armstrong Custer was he was named after. But Armstrong was a border clan. Elliott's are a border clan, Kerrs are a border clan, so they're like a lot of intermarried between them. I'm probably related to this guy roughly because we came from the same border, right next to each other. Anyway, I remember hanging on him and just crying, just chest heaving soft. I knew I was leaving so much stuff behind, so much of my life behind. I was able to go back get 2 more loads, providentially. A second big one. That's 2 weeks later. I got another load, 2 semi-loads, 2 U-Haul truckloads. Okay, I got 2 the first time, 2 the second time, 1 the second time, and then a guy paid for me to go get a third one for me, 4th one. So I got a 17-foot U-Haul and got some more stuff. But that second trip back, there was a hallway from the front door around to the living room. You went around either through the hallway or around the kitchen, dining room, to the living room, and then back to that same hallway. 10, 12, probably about 15 feet hallway, 15-foot hallway. That hallway was crammed floor to ceiling with stuff. And when I got into that second trip back, there was so much stuff with high dollar value. I mean, I was just blown away by how much money value I had there, and it was still there. We left the door unlocked, we left the back door unlocked. Nobody went into burglar. It was a pretty nice neighborhood, thank heaven. So yeah, it was a weird situation, but we got a lot of stuff back. I made 3 more loads from that first 2 loads. I got 2 loads the first time. We got 2 more loads. Yeah, 2 more. Because the second trip, I did 1 for me and 1 for my son-in-law. We moved my son-in-law with one of the trips. We made 2 trips the same weekend, but that was a 3rd load for me and then a 4th load with a small U-Haul. So 4 U-Haul loads to get a fraction of what I had at Denver, accumulated over 40 years. Well, from 1980 to 1997, 80, 90, so about 17 years, okay? So I'm going to start cutting this open now. I'm going to do a little unboxing, a little tool thing here. This is outdoor gear, outdoor goods or something like that. Outdoor Edge chow pail. Chow pail. I can do this thing in the dark. When I first had it, it was like an IQ test. So you push here and you do this. Now I can do it with my eyes closed. I can take it apart, put it back together. So the reason I got it here is because it's a knife, a fork, and a spoon. And this thing, the fork I can stick into my salt container, get a little salt and salt my food with it. But it's got a spoon and a knife, so I'm going to use a knife if I need it, which I think I'm going to. This box is worthless, so I'm just going to whack it open. I don't care about saving it for anything. So, come on. And incidentally, if it goes bad, it's because the phone is a piece of junk. It's a Verizon piece of garbage. I'm probably not going to be on the Verizon much longer because they send a new phone, a replacement phone. The new phone is worse than this phone. This is my old used phone that I was going to send in, and I'm so thankful that I did not. That I woke up one morning and like the Lord told me, don't send it in. I ran out and grabbed it before UPS got there. Thank heavens. Okay, I'm going to lay this down, and I think that should get me the bulk of the thing out. No. Probably take care of it. No. Nothing there. Let's see if it can open. One more. Okay. Now, let me tell you what I have in here. This is not a gas chainsaw. You get a gas chainsaw, you have to get the spark plug for the air filter clean, the spark plug clean. You have to always put oil in it. You gotta mix your fuel because it's a gas and fuel oil mix. You gotta have a certain percentage on that. You gotta do it right. You gotta never have cheap gas in it. Never have gas with water in it because you'll burn the thing up. A friend of mine in Kansas took one in and get it repaired. It was brand new. And they said, oops, what kind of gas did you use? He said, unleaded. They said, well, you need to use premium unleaded with no alcohol and no water in it. Did you do that? Well, no. You mix it in a can, you still let that can sit in the wintertime, water, it's going to separate. The fuel's going to come out, water's going to go to the bottom. If you don't shake that thing up, you can shake it up, it might not destroy the chainsaw. But if you just pour it in and you get water in that thing, you got to go buy a new chainsaw because it's not worth it to rebuild it. So what I got was a one that's not going to use any gas and oil. It's electric. No, it's not cordless, and I'll tell you why in a minute. One reason is I don't have to worry about the gas-oil mixture ratio anymore. I can just use the thing. Okay. Second reason is because they're a lot quieter than gas. You fire up a chainsaw, you're in a survival situation, you're trying to build your fortress out in the woods, your dugout thing out in the woods. You can hear a chainsaw for miles and miles. A gas chainsaw, you can hear it for miles and miles. This is going to be a lot quieter, especially if you use it judiciously, wisely. If you use it carefully, it's going to be really quiet. And are they powerful? Yeah, they're good enough. Watch Wrangler star Cody Crone does a comparison of his brand new Husqvarna gas chainsaw compared to his father's used Makita cordless chainsaw. And he does about 15, what they call cookies, just about half-inch cuts on it through a piece of wood. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. The Makita never bogged down. The gas, the Husky, bogged down. You gotta kind of fight it through it. Well, the Makita never bogged down, and it beat time-wise. The time bit as the timer's running on the screen there. The Makita beat the gas Husky. So now I gotta figure out how to get this divider in here that's worthless. I got a Husky spray bottle today. I really like it, but the reason I meant that is because the instructions were down inside the bottle. I filled the bottle with water, and the thing would not. I could not pump it up. I could hear it gurgle, wouldn't pump it up. Why? Because they had the stupid thing for the chainsaw down inside the bag, inside the instructions. So by the time I get it out, the instructions are soaking wet and virtually worthless. If I couldn't figure out how to get the thing running, finally when I took that out, it worked perfectly. Okay, so let me see if I can get this out without. No, not going to be able to do it. I got to get that cut off. The bar thing. So this is a real chainsaw. It's got a couple of really cool features, other than the fact that it's not cordless, but corded. Do not cut that finger up. This got to come off. Upsy, come on. Upsy daisy. Hands were made before knives, so if the thing's not connected, I'm going to get it hacked off. It's not. It's heavy, so that tells me a lot. The motor is a hefty motor. I used a little one at work one time. Well, I bought one years ago in Denver, an electric chainsaw. It was a little Weber. That began with W, you can remember it. And I couldn't get it to work at all. It didn't work with food. Well, I brought it to Kansas with me. By the time I got to Kansas, I went to work for a company, and they had a little Remington one, even smaller than mine. Not Weber. Anyway, and it worked great. We used to cut pallets up. And I looked at it, oh, I went back at home and looked at mine. The chain was on backwards. It was, I don't know whether I installed it wrong, I have no idea. But the chain was on backwards. That's all I needed was the chain put on, so it was in a cutting direction, not a non-cutting direction. Come on, this thing is huge. This thing is heavy. I like that. I mean, it's heavy, heavier than the gas saw, that's for sure, I think. I gotta check the weight on it. Somebody looked at that rather while we're messing around here. Okay, it was in this, that's good, it was attached and all that. Now, most of these have a self-tensioning, automatic tensioning system where you just tighten this thing up and then tighten the chain. The chain's on it, cool. I didn't even look at the dimensions on it because I didn't care. I hope it's a heavy chain. I don't think it is, though. It don't look like it. That's okay. Like a 3/8 pica, I think is what do they call it. Oh no, I forgot that. The big thing about this one. One of the reasons I wanted it. Let me I don't know if you can see anything in this box. I might use the box for show and tell here. It's a small chain. Blah 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 blah. When I was in Kansas, I had a Pro Mac 1010. It was an antique, considered an antique now. Now, Buck and Billy Ray Smith. If you want to learn how to cut down firewood and how to split wood, watch Buck and Billy Ray Smith people. One of the most awesome people in the world. And he has a wonderful ministry of he helps all the elderly people. His YouTube channel pays for it. They'll split their wood for the winter, all their wood. And he does it for free because his soldiers of kindness, his army of kindness, pays for him to do it. He helps supply him with everything he needs to do it, including the time. So very phenomenal. Get this thing on. Maybe get better lighting in here. I don't think I can get lighting. Looks great, really. A little bit of ambient reflective lighting. So you have three different kinds of chains. Basically, two different major kinds of chains. You have, as far as size and all that, you have 3/8 and 3/17 pitch. Whatever, two different pitches of chains. 3/8 is what most big saws use. Well, this is a different system, and you got to file it. That's the other thing. Okay, there's three reasons why I got this. It's electric. It's quiet. Electric meaning quiet. No gas oil mix. It's electric. And 4, it has a self-sharpening system. This is something Oregon developed, and they came up with it. So the chain is different than most chains. It's going to be more. Well, the reason I started telling about the thing in Kansas is because for that Pro Mac 1010, I spent $75 and I got a carbide chain at the time. And I found out two good things about carbide chains. They'll go through anything, one good, one bad. They will cut through anything, including nails and metal. But the bad thing is they only do it one time. 30 or 40 teeth, I took 13 of them up, and it was so unbalanced it wouldn't even run. It would vibrate to death. It would have destroyed the saw. So I couldn't afford to get them fixed because it was like $1.50 per tooth. And I didn't have the money to do it, but it would cost me like more to fix them than it would to buy the chain, I think, if I remember right. So anyway, this is a sharpening system. This thing is really weird. Come on. So it doesn't move, it just stays on there. And what it does is, I don't know if I can find a picture on the thing, but this lever here, this thing is so heavy I don't want to pick it up. There's a little red lever here by the handle. You push down with your thumb. And that pushes the little stone into the chain. So the chain is built to be self-sharpening. This thing looks awesome. Man, I wish these were carbide. Anyway, look them up. Oregon Power Sharp. Self-sharpening built in. I'm trying to hold this up. I have to stand up to do it, which means I gotta do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so move the bucket out of the way, get the saw out of the way. Okay, so Ween, Werner, Weber, Werner, something like that. The W saw, I'm sure I don't remember the W saw. But this other one I had used was a Remington. It worked that time, electric saw. And let me tell you this, cordless stuff is not something to turn your nose up at. somebody did testing on, I don't know, the impact or whatever, but the cordless was more powerful than the electric one. I think it was on a Sawzall. I don't remember, to be honest with you. To be honest. You know, if someone says, say to be honest ever since, that means they're not being honest most of the time. And I found that to be very true. This was the outdoor edge packet of the spoon, knife, and fork. Extra price for the saw. Owner's manual for the saw. Tool for the saw, whatever. Okay. Boost. I don't know if I can do this. Not sure there's enough room in here. The box is pretty long. Almost 4 feet long, I think. Knock the whole thing over. Okay, I'm not going to do it. Sorry. Look it up online, learn about it. I'm just trying to educate you a little bit. So I can do it at an angle. I can see where it is right under the... I got to center it underneath the white organ thing. Okay, get a screenshot or read it. Do your own research. BYOR, bring your own research. Okay, and that says Oregon self-sharpening electric chainsaw. SCIE. Oh, that's all in different languages. Holy crap. I wasted all that just for that. Dang it. Sorry about that. Okay. I told you that there were 4 reasons why I got this saw. Well, I lied, or I made a mistake. There are 5. 1, it's electric and quiet. Okay, 1, it's electric. 2, it's quiet. 3, I don't have to worry about gas and oil mixing up, and air cleaners, and spark plugs, and other things. And one guy used his, it got hot, lit on fire, set the neighbor's whole front yard on fire, trees and everything. Just about took the house out. It doesn't start fires. 4, self-sharpening. That's awesome. So 5, a hell of a lot cheaper. Okay, the cord, they do make a cordless, what I was thinking about how cool cordless things are, and I wanted one, but they're like $450 for a cordless. This one's like $100 and, with everything else, there's tax, $104, I think $103, something like that. It was just ridiculous. So, I would highly recommend something like this. Cordless, that's great. If you can afford a cordless, grab one. If you can afford, you know, as long as you can afford the gas, get one. But get a chainsaw. Don't think you're going to come out here with a little HC1 or even a, what do you call them things, silky saws and cut all your trees down and cut all your firewood up. Unless you're a gorilla with a, or constitution, the cardiovascular system of an orangutan. If you're not strong enough to do it and have the cardio to do it, you're not going to do it. You're not going to build a cabin with a Ichiban or a samurai or whatever it is, a silky saw. You're not going to do it. Maybe with a silky, a 650 millimeter silky saw, which I would love to get. I would love to get a 650 millimeter silky saw, or even a 500. You know, if somebody want to buy that from me, show me one, I would love you to death. So anyway, this is not cool. This is my phone charger for my stupid phone that I have to keep plugged in all the time. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to go through look at the booklet here and see if there's anything I want to show you. Might be a card here or something you can look at. This looks like a product registration. Yep. Probably won't do that. Chainsaw tool tips. Okay, a booklet. In 4 different languages. Manual de instrucciones. Manual original de instrucciones. Manual de instrucción originales. Portuguese, maybe. French, Portuguese, Spanish. A lot of good safety stuff. Okay, this is the typical But this book is not short. Let me see if it's in different sections. I think probably normally they're not, every page is different, but the section is different. Look at the section. Nope, I was wrong. Okay. They're not differentiated by pages, but gotta be 21, 25, 29, 30. So it's 30 pages. It has pages. Okay, starting on page 30, we're doing French. Or no, sorry. Starting on page 32, you're doing French. Or Portuguese. I'm going to guess about 60. Let's go to about 60. 61. 62, you're doing Spanish or Portuguese, and then so about 90. Finally we get to the French. Solution des problèmes. I'm not sure that's French. Mantenimiento de la barra de Goya. Apalado con sharpa. 80? '91, '92, '93. Go to page 1. I don't know. And it should have the, oh, 2, 32, 62, 92. Okay. Yeah. So it has a table of contents with those differentiations. And everyone should start with important safety information. 32. Not that anybody cares. Yeah. 32. 62. Yep. 92. 92 is the end, and then 93 is a new one. Okay, so I know I took a little bit extra time for that, but I am anal. I do research. I do it thoroughly. I leave no stone unturned. You should do it the same way. Live your life that way. Don't leave any stones unturned. That way you don't have any snakes about to bite you or your kids when they kick that stone over. Don't leave any stones unturned. But for research, definitely learn everything you can. We'll go to the nth degree. I gotta find the weight on this thing, man. I'm gonna do another video on it. Okay, I'm gonna quit. Thank you. God bless everybody. Repeat the 5 reasons I got this saw. Come on. I'm fighting the uphill of the flooring. 5 reasons. Electric, which means quieter. That's 2. No gas, no I'm messing with. No parts to keep playing. Carburetor. Fuel filter. Air filter. There's 3 parts there at least. You know, a lot of things to keep clean on. Make you. Oh, the oiler has to work. The oil has got to be plugged up. You got multiple things on the gas chain that you got to make sure you have all dialed in right, or you're going to ruin your chainsaw. Chain's got to be kept sharpened on a regular basis. This, you know, so that I don't have to worry about that because this thing solves it on a regular basis. So those, I'm going to say just the 2 things, the things you don't want to have to do all the time, and then it's quieter. Okay. Probably more powerful, faster, I would guess. No, it's not faster. Somebody did that. Project Farm did that. Watch Project Farm on chainsaws and stuff, electric, non-electric. This thing was not the fastest. Definitely not. And it didn't last. Oh, let's watch that one because he tested it. I remember that. Anyway, my point is that there's multiple reasons I bought it. Quieter, electric, quieter, gas oil mix, keeping all the other stuff clean, you know, chain, boiler port, carburetor, blah, blah, blah. Just added that at one point. Cheaper, $100. So anybody can set up a battery bank and an inverter to run this thing. It may take some power, but hey, I'll look at that too. I want to look at things from an off-grid perspective because so many people are off-grid, going to be off-grid. I got 2 guys here that are basically living off-grid, Timothy and Rock, you know, and no power. You know, Timmy's got solar panels and whatnot, but Rock don't even have that. He's living in a 100-degree airstream. So anyway, God bless everybody. Thank you for being here with me, and make some decisions and change your life. That's why I'm trying to help everybody do this. Anybody say anything? Nope. Fine, be that way. Fine, be that way. I don't care.